see in spy movies and Bond movies where they all meet for drinks, and so it's all in that building here. This is the Charing Cross railway bridge. Charing Cross is up on the left hand side. Charing Cross is where all measurements in London are taken. So if you say Windsor is 75 miles away, Brighton is 90 miles away, Trafalgar Square is half a mile, all their distances are all taken from Charing Cross. On the right hand side you see the Royal Festival Hall, opened for the 1951 Festival of Britain. The building is said to be one of the finest concert halls in the world. Many famous people have performed in the Royal Festival Hall, including Pavarotti, Frank Sinatra, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Jimi Hendrix, Bob Marley, Michael Jackson, David Bowie, goes on and on, all performed here. On the left hand side on the embankment is Cleopatra's Needle, given to this country as a goodwill gift following Nelson's victory over Napoleon at the Battle of the River Nile. The needle is over 3,000 years old. It's one of a pair. Its twin stands in Central Park, New York. The building on the left hand side with the dark roof and the single flagstaff there in the centre, that is the famous Savoy Hotel. The main entrance of the Savoy is in the Strand. See the top left hand apartment in the Savoy Hotel is where Charlie Chaplin lived for 4 years. He lived up there and he chose that apartment to live in so he could look behind him, across behind him to Lambeth where he was born. This is Waterloo Bridge. Opened in 1945, this bridge was built by women because men were always by men in the sea. The only bridge to be built on the Thames that was built on time and under budget. On the left hand side, the white building there with a small green dome is Somerset House, built as a palace for the Duke of Somerset. Unfortunately, the Duke of Somerset was executed in the Tower of London before the building was finished. It's now the King's College, London, and also in the grounds there is an open-air cinema which is open to the public every day. See the old black and white ship here on the left? The St. Catherine, looking a bit sorry for itself, a bit scruffy old ship there on the left. That was the Royal Barge. Whenever any member of the royal family would travel on the River Thames, that's the vessel that they used to use. No longer used as a royal barge, there's a new one now called the Gloriana. But that actually, in saying that though, that does actually still go out occasionally. The royal family give that one to Harry when he wants to come over. He uses that one. The left hand side there, the Wellington, a sloop from the New Zealand Navy from the Second World War. A club for master mariners and retired sea captains. On the embankment, behind the Wellington, you see the stone archway, that is called the Temple Gate, and that is the boundary that separates the city of Westminster, which we are leaving, from the city of London. We have just entered on the left hand side. We've entered one of the smallest cities in the world. The city of London is just 1 square mile. Originally called London Ridge during the time of the Saxons. And then when the Romans invaded, they called it Londinium, which now you get London from Londinium from the Romans. And that was 2,000 years ago, still London today. further along on the left hand side, along this embankment wall here, look on the left, you see the lions with the rings in their mouths? The tide will reach those rings in about an hour's time. The tide comes in for 5 hours and goes out for 7 hours. From high tide to low tide, there is a difference of 7.4 metres or 27 feet, and this happens twice a day. It's coming in from the sea. See the chains on the buildings and on the wall? You'll see some more later in the journey, I'll point them out. Well, these chains hanging on the wall and on the buildings, on the construction site there, it's such a fast running river, it moves so quickly that if you were to fall in, you'd be swept away. So the chains are so that you can grab them and hang on to be rescued. And they're all the way up and down the walls and all the buildings and all the bridges. You can see them as we go along. On the left hand side, the building with a sloping roof and a brown spire, the old City of London School for Boys. Many of this country's leading statesmen educated in that building, including Lord Aspen and Sir Winston Churchill, and both became Prime Ministers of this country. This is Blackfriars Bridge, opened by Queen Victoria in 1869. The red painted columns are all that remain on the St Paul's Railway Bridge, designed by Brunel, famous Victorian engineer, and the last bridge is the Blackfriars Railway Bridge. You see the chains I was talking about earlier? On the left hand side, coming into view, is St Paul's Cathedral. The second St Paul's Cathedral to stand on this site. The first that stood here was made of wood and burnt down in the fire of London in 1666. This St Paul's you see there today was designed by Sir Christopher Wren. It took 35 years to build and opened in 1710. As the second largest unsupported cathedral dome in Europe, the largest is St Peter's in Rome. On the right hand side, the brown building with a tall chimney, with a tall smokestack. This is the old Bankside Power Station. It's no longer used as a power station, it's now converted to the Tate Modern Art Gallery. It's completely free to enter the Tate Modern Art Gallery there on the right hand side. Go in there completely free of charge. Then if you go in there, have a look at some of this